This is Daily Armenia, ＳիվիլNeթ's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told Congress yesterday that the United States is actively working to prevent a new Azerbaijani invasion of Armenia. During a House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing, Representative Jim Costa, a Democrat from California, pressed the Trump administration's top diplomat to enforce Section 907 of the Freedom Support Act, which restricts U.S. military aid to Azerbaijan and called for the permanent end of U.S. military aid to Baku. Rubio replied that no decision has been made yet on whether the president will issue a waiver to circumvent the ban this year, emphasizing that current efforts are focused on averting a wider conflict. We are focused on getting them to agree to a peace agreement that does not cause them to invade a neighboring country, Armenia, Rubio said, warning that a war would be destructive, counterproductive, and the last thing we need right now in the region. Representatives Chris Smith, a Republican from New Jersey who recently held a hearing on the atrocious human rights situation in Azerbaijan, told Rubio, "It's very clear that after the genocide committed by Aliyev against the Armenians, there are many political prisoners and POWs being held. I would just encourage you to do whatever you can to get them released." Secretary Rubio responded that human rights remain a central focus of U.S. diplomacy. "The issues you raised about prisoners and human rights are critical. Azerbaijan provides us an opportunity to do that in the context of the broader peace we're trying to establish." The Armenian National Committee of America, one of the ethnic Armenian lobbies in Washington, welcomed the engagement, calling Rubio's response constructive. Most Armenians do not feel represented by any political force, according to the 2024 Caucasus Barometer survey published yesterday. The data is based on a nationwide household survey conducted by the Caucasus Research Resource Center last year. The results reveal a major void in the country's electorate, with 54.7% of respondents saying that there is no political party or movement they feel close to. Civil Contract, a party which has dominated the political scene following the 2018 revolution, saw its support fall from 22.4% in 2021 to just 15.1% in 2024. Despite this sharp decline, the party still leads by a wide margin. However, the survey also highlighted alarmingly low levels of political literacy and civic engagement. A striking 70.2% of respondents agreed with the statement, "People are like children. The government should take care of them like a parent." Meanwhile, 83% said politics and governance seem so complicated that they can't really understand what's going on. Nearly half, 43.7%, believe their vote makes no difference. Despite widespread apathy towards political parties and institutions, many Armenians still view the country's democratic development in a positive light. According to the survey, 75.8% believe people in Armenia have the right to openly express their opinions. Roughly the same share also said they consider Armenia a democracy. Recent political developments around Armenia's potential path towards joining the European Union appear to have shifted public attitudes, making them less neutral than in 2021. Support for EU membership has risen to 44%, up from 37.4% 3 years ago. At the same time, opposition to the idea has also grown from 16.1% to 26.5%. The rest of the population remains either undecided or uninterested in the issue. When asked which country they consider Armenia's main friend, the largest share of respondents, 37%, named France. In stark contrast, only 14% pointed to Russia, a dramatic decline from 83% in 2013. Lack of peace is now seen as Armenia's most pressing challenge by 44% of respondents, up sharply from just 7% in 2019, before the Second Karabakh War. Unsurprisingly, Azerbaijan is viewed as Armenia's main enemy by 56% of those surveyed, followed by Turkey with 28%. As for normalization with Baku, 88.5% spoke in favor of reaching a settlement with Azerbaijan, and just 1.5% said they believe peace would come through a victorious war for Armenia, effectively dismissing Baku's claims of widespread revanchism in the country. Dr. Taner Akçam, a renowned Turkish historian and the inaugural director of the Armenian Genocide Research Program of the Promise Armenian Institute at UCLA, joined SiViLNeT to discuss the need to shift from genocide recognition to restitution in the fight for justice. Akçam argues that the next phase must focus on reparations, particularly the return of looted Armenian cultural artifacts held in American museums. Drawing on the model of Jewish restitution efforts, he outlines how legal avenues can be used to pursue accountability, even when state denial persists. You can find a link to the broadcast in this video's description. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 123,705. That's the number of tourists who arrived in Armenia last month, according to the country's tourism committee. It's a staggering 24.5% drop from April last year. Armenia's tourism numbers have been continuously dropping since hitting a peak in 2023, likely influenced by the displacement due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Current numbers suggest Armenia will struggle to reach its ambitious goal of welcoming 3 million tourists this year. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.